World Homeopathy Day, April 10th, and Master Samuel Hahnemann's birthday is being celebrated all over the world. And I was invited to give a talk to the students of Mehsana Homeopathic College, and I had a very diverse audience, and I was wondering what could be the best tribute to the master. What dawned upon me was to realize Hahnemann's spirit of scientific and critical thinking. Hahnemann's life was completely his contribution, his journey in homeopathy was governed at every step with critical thinking. In fact, the skill of critical thinking was rather inculcated by Hahnemann's father since childhood, since the age of maybe 8, 9 or 10, when his father would leave his work every evening and go to little Samuel to teach him how to think. And as we see all through his thought process, his experiments to get a rapid, a gentle, and a permanent cure. Each stage of his experiment has been evaluated, and clinical actions governed on this observation and then the evaluation of these observations. Each time growing more and more closer to the rapid, gentle and permanent cure, an objective that he had set for himself right since the day he became a physician. If we look at his experiments, he starts initially with a single dose, waits till the dose action is over before he repeats the next dose. But he finds the cure too slow, and then by the time he publishes the 5th edition, he is repeating the medicine practically every day or even more often. And finally, in the 6th edition, he talks about the LN potency, where he finds repeating very frequently also, not only speeding up the cure, but being very gentle to the patient. Finally, to make a permanent cure, Hahnemann re-evaluates histories of his own patients and discovers the 3 chronic miasms, and these become the cornerstone of chronic prescribing for him. And he leaves a legacy of these experimental observations for us. While Hahnemann was an experimenter, he was not dogmatic. He said, create the experiment in the same conditions that I did, and you will be able to reproduce the results. He asked us to think rationally, to think critically, to think scientifically, and to evaluate every action that is taken in the clinic. If we want to give a true tribute to the master, it is up to us as individuals and as collective fraternity of homeopathy to ensure this spirit of scientific, logical and critical thinking is inculcated in individuals and in community at large. Unfortunately, we find that we are exactly in the opposite direction. We are creating schools of thoughts which leaves the students totally confused. Each of these schools want to create disciples which follow, conform to the thought process of the schools. While I am not against contemporary insights, but what I do not agree with and which I believe the spirit of the master does not agree with is this conformist attitude, is a dogmatic attitude where we rarely interact with people with different schools of thought. This process is damning, is suppressing logical thinking, scientific and critical thinking and evaluation. I, as a teacher and personally as a homeopath, am clear that while I am willing to learn from the new insights, from the contemporary master homeopaths, I do not wish to conform blindly to any of these. Each of these have its place in the clinic in a certain set of cases under certain conditions. None of them can be adopted as the method, the way of resolving clinical issues. What we need is to align urgently as soon as possible and to help our students, to help our coming generation to develop this critical thinking. So with this, I wish you all a future next coming year of fruitful, successful healing with homeopathy, and take this as an opportunity to develop within us these abilities of critical thinking and scientific outlook without allowing dogmatism to dominate in our clinics and in our minds.